Hi, my name is Victoria Basdeo. I work for the Mortgage Finance Department. We have closings daily, and we also act as transfer agent for certain co-ops and condominium boards. I heard of Adam Leitman Bailey PC through my own research. Just being in real estate for almost 10 years, I wanted to be a part of a bigger organization. When I come to work, I look forward to being able to do things for people, making them happy. My department primarily represents lenders, so we deal with a lot of loan officers, but the mutual customer client in that is actual purchasers or people trying to obtain refinances. So the application process with the bank could take several months, and then we come in, we close. It's like the last phase of a transaction, but it's the most happiest. So we try to make it quick and easy, and obviously like a pleasant experience. My daily responsibilities include attending closings, just making sure that borrowers are well aware of everything that they're signing, that they understand everything represented on the papers. Outside of that, we also do all the legwork before closings. We review title reports. We just want to make sure that if you're purchasing a property, especially if it's your first time, again, you want to make it a happy experience. It's like a day of congratulations, so it's best to discover things that are affecting the property or maybe like the co-op board or the condo board before you get to the table. You don't want to go to a closing and say there's like a $20,000 lien against the board. Sorry you didn't know about it before, but we have to adjourn this closing. So it's a lot of due diligence, just making sure that all parties are clear, properties are clear, a lot of communication with the bank and the borrowers, and it's just overall, putting other people first. You and I can have a bad day, but obviously in any sort of customer service dynamic, they should never see that. So it really is just about delivering good news and good news only. What I would say about the culture here, especially when it comes to teamwork, is that it allows for it. There's a lot of independent working, which I love. I do love coming to work, and it's a peaceful environment. It's a lot of things going on. It's a very busy firm, even in COVID times, but just if you take a walk around the office, you never hear too much volume. But I have a team of all women. We're all diverse, and we're very supportive of each other. Daily we have a schedule, but we'll often just ask each other through email or in passing, do you need my help? I've worked for, other organizations where you're pretty much on your own from start to finish. And although that does work for me and it does work for other people, it's good to know that even my bosses, one of which is a partner here, is always available to take my call or help out, or even ask. Just the mindset of even asking, hey, do you need help? So I like that everyone takes accountability and everyone is on the same page when it comes to getting things done. I currently work for a department that consists of mainly women. In fact, I think that we are an all-women's team. I really appreciate being a part of that team. You get to see strong women in professional roles who are also, wives and mothers. So we have outside obligations, and we're able to do everything. Oftentimes, especially with COVID, we're working from home, so we're balancing, taking care of our kids and still making it to closings and getting things done. It just is a very relatable environment. And obviously, like, it's easier to communicate certain things that may affect, just us women. So I really appreciate being a part of a team like this. Primarily, my main duty here is to attend closings, facilitate closings. But that's just like the sweetest part of the whole deal, is to make sure that the client's happy, everyone's closed, we funded. But there's a lot of work that goes into that. So what we try to do is we try to be as transparent as possible. So our obligation, we always keep our client updated, which is the lender, but we always loop in the customer, which is the borrower, in every step of the way. That way, it makes for an easier closing. Lots of times we're doing refinances, and in New York, you don't need an attorney to close on a refinance. So it's, someone like you and I that may not, be super comfortable with like legal documents, right? They don't have an attorney present. So we try to minimize the confusion before we even get to the table. If there's something that the borrower wants to speak about, we often reach out to them before we get to closing. We send numerous emails explaining like our findings. As I mentioned before, we have like title reports that we order, or the another side will order a title report, just disclosing everything that they find against the property, or the co-op board, or maybe the seller. So what we try to do is, as soon as we find something out, if it's a red flag, or even if it's something minor that we just need clarification for, we don't wait until closing day to get our answers. We let all parties know. We sometimes communicate on the borrower's behalf with the co-op board or the condominium board, just to make sure that we have everything we need, because it could be an intimidating process, and we're mindful of that. So we try our best to make sure that the client has nothing but good things to say. Like, man, I waited to close on this home for 4 months, but my closing was a breeze. All they need to do is show up with a pen in hand, and get it done. I started real estate when I was about 19. I started as a landlord-tenant paralegal and a property manager. And then I transitioned from residential to commercial. And now I'm back in residential. But what I think helped me with, being able to deal with the demands of this job is that in commercial, people are buying buildings as opposed to houses. So it's a very stressful environment. Obviously, like most times in those cases, they were investors. But in residential, it's like high volume. It's a lot more individual files coming your way. So it allowed for me to deal with the pressure and the demands a lot easier. I like having like a full circle type of experience with real estate. I've also done lending. I've been an underwriter. I'm always going to networking events with real estate professionals, so that may include attorneys, title analysts, brokers, agents, and what I find is that we have like the most important role in it all. Yes, a broker may find you a property, and a title closer will make sure that they do their due diligence to get you a report that completely researches a property thoroughly, but an attorney is like your gatekeeper for all of the things that you're concerned about, things that you're nervous about. So, being able to not just like represent the lender and make sure that their customers are happy, we're also providing that comfort for the customers as well. Because like I mentioned, for refinances, you don't need an attorney present. So we're oftentimes unofficially playing both roles. You're communicating with the customer, you're making sure that they're clear on what needs to be brought to closing, and you're bringing things up to them that they may want to think about, and then also you're making your client, who is the lender, extremely happy because you're able to close on their customer's loan. I would give anyone looking to start a career in real estate in general, I would tell them to not wait. I would tell them to just go for it. Even if it's not something that you just on its face find interesting, in your lifetime you will rent a property, you will buy something, your relatives will buy something. It's good tools, it's good knowledge, and just for myself, even when I was in school, I always wanted to pursue law, but I never saw myself in real estate, and now I don't see myself ever getting out of it, and that's by choice. It's just like learning how to write a check in school when we were taught this.
Mm-hmm.
I think everyone should know about the ins and outs of real estate, not even just to work in this field, but just to navigate in New York City especially. It's very, very demanding, and it can be very intimidating, and it's very pricey. So obviously you would want to make sure that you know what you're getting yourself into, and when to get yourself into it. So ultimately, don't wait.